Hey, this is Karishnu from Cuttle, and we are going to look at converting a Python notebook into a Flask API project without additional code. Let's quickly initialize Cuttle in the same folder as the Jupyter Notebook. We use cuttle init command and enter the file name of the notebook we wish to transform. We notice that it creates the cuttle.json file with the notebook configured. We notice that we don't have any environments configured yet. Let's use the cuttle create command and enter the environment name, platform plugin, and transformer plugin. On reloading the cuttle.json file, we notice that the environments have been configured. This file can be committed along with the Jupyter Notebook to your Git repository. Let's go back to our notebook. We notice that this is a typical MNIST model example. We import data, split it into the training and testing set, train our model on the training set, and evaluate our model on the testing set. We also have this piece of code that imports a real handwritten image of a digit and predicts which digit it is. Now we have two simple steps. First, configure code cells to be ignored in the Flask API project. For example, the model evaluation code cell. Second, configure the cell to be APIfied, where we take the handwritten digit from the API request and respond with the digit. To ignore the evaluation cell, we will use the cuttle environment disable configuration along with the environment we want to disable it in. The Flask transformer plugin requires some configuration. We will use cuttle environment set config, which basically applies the configuration to the cell. The route variable will set the route we want to make the request to, and method will define the HTTP method we want to use. We use a hard-coded image path to test our model, but instead we need to fetch this image from the API request. The Flask plugin projects the request object that can be used to extract the image. We will use cuttle environment get config along with the environment name and the file path. The Flask plugin also needs us to configure the variable to be returned as an API response. Here we will use the cuttle environment set config along with the environment name and the value to be set. We notice that there are two types of configuration cuttle uses. There is cell scoped configuration that applies to the entire cell and line scoped configuration that allows injecting data into variables. Let's quickly use the cuttle transform command to transform the notebook for the MNIST API environment. Once it's done, we will take a look at our output folder. Here is our auto-generated Flask project file. Let's run and test it. Oops. Our API has been deployed on our local machine. Let's use Postman to check if it works. I have already entered the route that we had configured in the notebook. Let's select a handwritten digit file. I have two sample image files here. Let's select MNIST3, which will return the digit 3 in the API response. Let's test it again with MNIST2, which gives 2 in the response. Do reach out to us if you have any queries, and thanks for watching.